We are now just 94 days away from the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one great thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to really introduce many different pieces of Jedi, Sith, and Force lore that's going to be used as a way to benefit the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren, and to really evolve the characters from start to finish of this story by JJ and George. And I think that's a very good thing and a step in the right direction by Disney and Lucasfilm, the fact that they are focusing on these types of lore that's going to be the core of the story. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that to be a scene based in the first act of the film, where Rey, Poe, Finn, and Chewbacca are said to be on board of the Millennium Falcon and traveling through hyperspace. This is where it's described that Rey begins to walk around the Falcon and steps on one of the panels that appears to be out of place on the floor, where she decides to pull it up and goes under the floor of the Falcon, where Han kept many secrets hidden away from potential foes boarding his ship. It's said that one of the objects that Rey comes across below the Falcon's floor panels is said to be an artifact that once belonged to Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's explained that Luke Skywalker handed this artifact down to Han Solo that is said to be Kenobi's holocron that would teach a young Ben Solo while Luke Skywalker is busy on his adventures with Lor San Tekka, discovering and protecting Jedi lore some years after the events of the Battle of Jakku and the infancy of the First Order. It's explained that J.J. Abrams will be making a canon that Kenobi's holocron was hidden away on Han's ship, that Han held onto and protected it since he could not find Luke before and during the events of Episode 7. The design is said to be a cube with a blue and white glowing color when Rey touches it. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, what's exciting about this is that we can already see that Disney and Lucasfilm are really trying to throw in a lot of holocrons into The Rise of Skywalker to make it very well known that holocrons are really going to be a big thing in the Star Wars franchise moving on forward. Now, with that being said, I think the reason as to why they're doing this is because it could have something to do with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and hence it could be a way in order to sell more products related to holocrons over there, because not every single fan out there is, of course, familiar with holocrons and what they really do. So they're trying to get it very familiar with the casual fans as well as the new fans around the world. Now, to me, what I like so much about this is that this is not only discovering a little bit more of Kenobi's legacy, but it also tells us that Luke Skywalker was trying to help Ben Solo and Han while he was actually on his own adventures helping out Lor San Tekka discovering Jedi lore. When Luke was busy and could not teach Ben Solo, he handed this particular holocron down to Ben Solo in order to gain some knowledge, or to offer Ben some knowledge about the ways of the Jedi. Now, mind you, that this is actually said to be prior to when Luke Skywalker developed his own holocron, which, by the way, is said to be a part of this film as well, at a certain point in time in Episode 9 that Rey comes across. So what I like so much about Episode 9 as well is that this movie really is going to, like I say, be using artifacts like this to benefit the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren in different ways by JJ and George Lucas. Now, why would Han Solo keep it on board of the Falcon for so long? Well, the big answer there is, of course, that yes, he could not find Luke for so very long after he fled to the first Jedi Temple on Ahch-To, and that's why Han Solo kept it very much hidden on board of the Falcon. Now, it's pretty much unbelievable to think that the Falcon was stolen and handed down by so many different people that they never came across these objects underneath the floor panels of the Millennium Falcon. You would think that one would actually search below there and actually discover these things. That's a big question, right? So, with that being said, Obi-Wan Kenobi, very big character in the Star Wars franchise. We can see how they actually used a part of his legacy of teaching Ben Solo the ways of the Jedi and teaching him basically the ways of the Force as well. And that's a very interesting part of what they're trying to do with Episode 9, right? The fact that they're really trying to dive deep into the mythology of Star Wars, everything related to the Jedi, the Sith, the Force, and going real heavy on that, I think is a good thing, because In The Last Jedi, it seems like that it wasn't really there. It was absent, right? And the fact that they're exploring that in greater depth in Episode 9 is a step in the right direction. Now, the actual holocron design is said to be a cube with a blue and white glowing color as Rey touches it. Now, is this going to benefit Rey, or is Rey just going to use this in order to examine it as a little Easter egg, if you will, to the fans, and introducing something new related to the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars franchise? That's another question as well. So the Millennium Falcon, I cannot wait to see, what other secrets will be explored and really just, pretty much coming to light in this movie for Rey. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.